So would you guys rather have one Bitcoin or $100 cash right now?
One
$100.
Bitcoin. Wait, what?
$100 cash.
A Bitcoin?
No, $100 cash.
No, you would want a Bitcoin.
That's one bit of a coin.
No, but that's like so much money you're
No,
talking about.
that's so much money. That's only one
$100 is nothing compared to a Bitcoin.
No, it's not. What are you talking about?
What are you talking
Like,
about?
I would rather take that.
Are you sure you'd rather take this than a Bitcoin?
Yeah, I'm sure. That's some big bucks. That's only one Bitcoin.
No. There's something wrong with you.
Literally, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Bro, I'm gonna take the cash. Like,
Bitcoin.
only a Bitcoin.
You want Bitcoin?
A singular coin.
No.
You know what a Bitcoin is, right?
Yeah, it's like one coin.
Yeah.
I don't know what you. I don't know. It's. Oh, you're so stupid.
What do you mean you're stupid? I'm gonna take the cash.
All right, then take it.
You're gonna be broke.
Then
and
take
I'm gonna
it.
have cash. You're gonna have one Bitcoin. I'm gonna have cash.
Let's go. You guys just won $100.
If you were in this situation as a man, how would you deal with this? Now, it's clear just from looking at this that she doesn't respect this man's decision-making skills. And if she ever has respected him, then she certainly doesn't in this moment. Now, when it comes to money and financial decisions, obviously that's clear that she doesn't respect him. So how would you deal with this? Now, it's clear to anyone that knows anything about Bitcoin that if you were offered a Bitcoin versus $100 in the current market, you take the Bitcoin. But this is a situation where you have two people that don't see eye to eye and are arguably both in their masculine energy until the man in this situation ultimately turns into the submissive one. Although he didn't want to, he did. And this is where guys mess up when it comes to leadership. A lot of guys think a woman is just supposed to do what they say because I'm the man and man say follow, so follow man. But unfortunately, that's not how the way it works. But also you also need a receptive woman, and some women just aren't receptive no matter what type of skills you choose to employ. Some women feel like they have their GED or their their bachelor's degree. Some of them feel like they have their Girl Scouts Scoutmaster thing and then on to their master's degree and then their PhD, and they feel like they really don't have to listen to you, so they're combative no matter what you say as a man. Even when you're correct, some women that you come across, they want to be right, or they want to win rather than be correct. So in those situations, it really doesn't matter what type of skills you deploy, but there are certain skills that you do need to deploy. And in this situation, this young man actually didn't do this correctly. This was a miscommunication in how she understood things versus how he understood things. And had he approached it differently, he could have got a different outcome. So in this situation, if they aren't married, I would have asked the guy, first and foremost, who is it that you're talking to? Are you talking to me or are you talking to her? Now, if he would have said that I'm talking to both of you, well then, if the role isn't defined as to who makes the decisions in this situation, then there's going to be conflict. So if you're dealing with a non-receptive woman, or a woman that feels as though, she's independent and does what she wants, well, then, you're going to have problems in that regard. But even if you do deal with that sort of woman, let's just say that you have a woman that makes her own decisions, but yet she's receptive to when you are right. She's not one of those types that like to combat you all the time and always question your decision-making skills. Well, in this moment, you have to pick up on the fact that she doesn't have understanding. She doesn't have understanding. Listen to how she responds to the idea of Bitcoin.
No, $100 cash.
No, you would want a Bitcoin.
That's one bit of a coin.
So to her, the context of Bitcoin is that probably it's some pieces of a penny. Pieces of a penny, like you're scraping off the copper off of a penny and putting it in her hand versus a $100 bill. So she thinks that pieces of a coin is worth less than $100, and that's why she's making the decision that she's making. So in that situation, you're going to have to be able to speak to her in her language by using analogies, making references. One of the best ways to do that is like, okay, and a lot of times in a position of leadership, people make the mistake of thinking, oh, you're just supposed to follow me when I say do. But unfortunately, human beings are sentient, and especially in today's climate, people tend to resent that sort of approach. Because if you think about it, even as a man, like a man just can't walk up to a man just because he thinks like he thinks that he's in a position of leadership that he can just start barking commands around. And I really like the way that this guy in this next clip explained it. His name is Jocko Willink.
Everyone thinks in the military that the leader's sitting at the top going, all right, gentlemen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to approach this building from the west. We're going to assault the front door. No, that's not the way it works. That's not the way it should work. The way it should work is I say to you, Joe, I say, hey, Joe, here's the target I want you to go after tonight. Come up with a plan. And you say, okay, cool. And then you, if you're a good leader, you get with your team and say, hey guys, here's the target we're going after. How do you all think we should do it? And now you all come up with your own plan together. And then you come back to me and say, hey, Jocko, here's how I want to do it. And I said, looks good. And maybe if I got to make a little adjustment, I say, hey, make this little adjustment here, or maybe use this weapon over here, or whatever. I make little tiny adjustments, but it's still your plan. And from a leadership perspective, that means you and your team are totally bought into the plan.
In leadership, it's the exact same way when you're dealing with a woman. Because sometimes if both of y'all are clashing, she'll make a decision, you make a decision, and if things go your way, she's going to resent it, even if you're right. She'll resent you for it because she wants to feel like, oh, I'm part of it too. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm this slave and I just follow. So in this situation, how you do it is you have to explain to her what a Bitcoin is. And the way that you explain to her what a Bitcoin is by not breaking down what a Bitcoin is. Well, he took a piece of digital currency. No. You say, okay, listen, let me tell you. Think of it as purses. Think of it as someone taking a Walmart purse and putting $100 bills in it. And they, 100 $1 bills in it. And then presenting it to you. Looks good, brand new purse. Purse costs probably like, $10. But it has 100 $1 bills in it. Okay? Would you take that, or would you rather take someone giving you a coupon that guarantees you a Chanel bag? And all you have to do is just send off for it, and then they mail you your Chanel bag. Which one would you want? That way it gives her the visual of the value. You tell her that Bitcoin, it's a digital currency that's like a Chanel bag that's on a coupon, versus someone right here with $100 in a Walmart purse. Which one is actually worth more? See, in this situation, a man has to be able to communicate with how his woman communicates. She doesn't communicate like he does. And a lot of men complain that women don't understand the way that men communicate, and women complain that men don't understand the way that women communicate. That women are from Venus and men are from Mars thing. But if you're ever going to be in a position of leadership, and I know that a lot of guys think, well, just a woman just supposed to follow. No. As a leader, you have to be a really good communicator. It's not a dictatorship where you're a tyrant just barking commands at a woman. So for every person that you're leading, you have to be able to speak their language and understand them, and then bring them around to understanding you. It's the exact same thing as how you would lead men. But here's what he didn't catch. She actually gave him the opportunity to lead.
That's so much money. That's only one
$100 is nothing compared to a Bitcoin.
No, it's not. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Instead of answering the question and explaining it, he started playing the woman's game, or like a child's game, repeating the question back to her. I know you are, but what am I? No, that's the moment where you catch it. When she says, well, what are you talking about? Explain it to her. Refrain from the tit for tat. Refrain from the emotional side of things when it's not time for emotion. If you're right, take the leadership role and be adamant about getting the results. Now, if you know you're right, do not bow down. Take leadership, because it's actually the confidence, like your confidence can also garner someone else's confidence in you. But because he's going tit for tat with someone that doesn't know what they're talking about, he would rather argue than just take control of the situation. Say, no, we want the Bitcoin. That's it. Bitcoin. That's it. Take your $100 and go buy your mama some popcorn with it. But we're going home with the Bitcoin. And if she wants to go home with the $100, well, she's going home by herself. But the Bitcoin. End of story. But that's after you've already explained everything to her. Right? So is a Bitcoin worth the breakup? Or would you rather just lose so that she can be happy that she got $100? I mean, hey, but sometimes peace of mind just might be worth $100. But I'll tell you this, you're in for one hell of a ride with that type of woman. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, comment. Tell me what you think. Would you go for the $100 or the Bitcoin? If going for the Bitcoin caused for you to break up, what would you do? Bitcoin, here I come.